Well, for what it's worth, I'm back. Hey, Pamela SP Butterfly. So you weren't able to find or see the live stream that was supposed to be coming from Restream? And I believe that you weren't because I actually went in with my other account and I couldn't find it either. Okay, I'm just going to close this because it's just confusing me. Well, all right, let's see if. Can you hear me, Pamela? Okay, there we go. And that's the other. Oops. The other thing is that I had top chat, not live chat on, so you guys are commenting and I can't see anything. Hey, Hef, how you doing? All right. Well, since this took forever for me to get it together and I still didn't get it very together, we're just going to hang out here and we'll just chat a little bit before Cricket gets going. In about 15 minutes or so. 17. Hi, time to change. Welcome. There's something. See, I had figured out all kinds of cool stuff over there, like a ticker and whatnot. And I don't know how to do that in the regular YouTube studio. That's all right. Yeah, you're right, Pamela. Failure is not truly losing because you still gain valuable information from your mistakes, right? WD-40. So, let's see here. People filter back in. Please be sure to hit the like button as you come in. And if you're new here, thanks for joining me. And if you're inclined, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications so that you can watch me fumble with technology another day. Yeah, it's funny, time to change. 30 years ago, this would have been a breeze for me, but I had no interest in doing YouTube 30 years ago. And so now my brain's older. It's been through some stuff and it's harder for me to remember what I just did 5 minutes ago that seemed to work. And hi, Mary. Thanks for joining. We're just going to have a quick chat. I'm glad you're here. Just a little quick chat before Cricket gets going. I had intended to have started around, well, I initially said 10, but I found myself fighting with Restream again. So I'm giving up on that for tonight. Not forever, just tonight. Yeah, time to change. I would have been unstoppable and a handful if I had access to this when I was a kid. Let's see. And look, I have a mod, guys. Thank you so much to my sister without an E, Mon, for volunteering. Sunday when I was live, I didn't catch it until I was replaying it the next day, and I noticed that Sunday I was with my my daughter and her friend, and some creeper came into the chat and started making comments about her friend, and yeah, I'm not having that. They're both minors, and I'm not having that. So I don't feel like I would always need a mod. Thank you, Mary. Would you mind if I went ahead and added you now, Mary, since I know how to do it? I want to do it before I forget how to do it. Um, well, I did it. There we go. So I have 2 mods. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a mod for when I'm out, you know, if I'm out in LA protesting or anything like that. Just because it's really hard to keep up with the comments when you're walking around with your phone. And of course, I hadn't planned on doing that day. It was very, very spur of the moment. And so I didn't have, gimbal, tripod, selfie stick, nothing. And so I wasn't able to keep up with the chat, and I did not see him. Disgusting creature. Yeah, I know. Yeah, LA. And I think it's the people that the LA streams seem to attract. And what I'm pretty sure what happened was somebody saw me when I met Laura, probably on her stream, and then she's got all the super mods who were smacking him down. And then so he decided to come and mess with me, and basically got ignored because I didn't notice him, and then got deleted and blocked the next day when I did find him. So oh, can you tell us about the thumbnail? Is that what you're saying? There's like a icon thing in the middle of part of your my theme was going to be, we're outside the club arguing about where we're going to go after the club, knowing full well we're just going to the corner booth at Denny's in a few minutes. And so that was one of the first images that was clear that I could find of the outside of a club. That's all. Just being silly. Hi, Janet G. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Let's see. Yeah, extra sisters. Yeah. Still collecting sisters. Hi, Kim White. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll be able to keep you awake until then. That was kind of my plan, was to hang out until she was ready to go live. I'm the opening act, I guess. I did want to kind of talk about a little something. Hey, welcome back, Papa Smurf. Yeah, I could not, I'm not conceding defeat to the technology, Papa Smurf, but I'm going to wave the white flag for tonight. Because I basically lost, 45 minutes messing around with Restream and not getting anywhere. But yeah, watching Natalie this morning, I got to stop watching her while I'm at work for now, and just listening to her and her sister discuss the grief process that she's going through now, and it brought back some stuff. And I guess some of the things I wanted to say were grief, once it hits you, once it's in your life, it is literally, it's going to be a forever process at this point. Who was it? There's a quote by someone who says grief, it's something like grief is evidence that you've loved. If you didn't love someone, you're probably not going to grieve them. And I like that perspective, because the grief is, I'm sorry to hear that, Papa Smurf. Yeah, it's been over 2 years for me. And I talked a little bit about it. I think you were here for that part on, what day is it? It's Wednesday. It must have been Monday night. So, yeah, for me, it was, thank you, Janet. I know, Mary, I know. And that's got to be hard. And those Father's Days, Mother's Day sucks because birth mother is not here. I'm here. And they want to do Mother's Day for me. And I don't feel like I've earned it because I feel like I'm an interim, just until she turns 18, and then she's going to try to get as far away from me as she possibly can. I don't think she'll do that, but she wants to be out there and an adult because she doesn't really fully understand what that entails. Becoming an adult was the stupidest thing I ever did in my life. But I think I commented on Natalie's in her, I was in the comments, not the live chat, and I had said, I was just sharing some of the things that I've learned, and that is the first thing that I mentioned, that grief is a forever process. The best you're just going to go through it, and 2 years later, I still sometimes move back to a stage. A lot of people don't know that Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, when she wrote On Death and Dying, that book was actually focused on the things that the dying individual is actually experiencing. Later, just prior to the end of her own life, she and another doctor, and I'm trying to look to see if I have it handy. Give me just a second. I don't see it, and I would probably have to destroy my room to get to the bookshelf in the back to see if it's over there. But she and another psychologist wrote on grief and grieving, and that was focused. It was filling the void that people were trying to, where people were trying to get answers from On Death and Dying, even though that wasn't really written for them. So similar stages, the approach to the stages is different, because as the ones who are surviving the dying, the process isn't going to end for us. And oh, yes, thanks, Janet, for explaining the ones. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I mentioned to Natalie, is that you're going to move through those 5 stages back and forth. Sometimes I'm experiencing anger and bargaining at the same time, or, it's complicated and it's messy. But it's something, in order for us to heal, and I believe we can heal after a loss like that. You have to go through the stages. You can't skip any. And it's really not even up to you when they come up and when you're going to be dealing with them. So that was one thing. And another thing, and I say this to everybody, if it's your cat, if it's your grandmother, if it's your best friend, do not ever let anyone tell you how to grieve. And don't let anybody tell you that you're doing it the wrong way, because your relationship with that soul was your relationship. Only the two of you know what was going on there and what it meant to you and the other. And yes, Pamela, you definitely bounce back and forth. It's kind of like emotional pong, so if anybody remembers that. And it is extremely individual, Janet. And she had talked about crying in the checkout line, and I said, do it. Give yourself grace, because this is going to be a messy process. Give yourself grace to cry to strangers. Trauma dump. I did that. That was pretty much all of 2022 was me getting to the register. I was forgetting how to do simple things, and because grief actually has a tremendous negative effect on your memory. I could never remember my PIN. I've had the same PIN for my debit card for going on 30 years now, I think. And I was trying to check out at Ralph's one day, and I could not remember my PIN to save my life. And I just burst into tears in front of the cashier and the line behind me. And I'm just like, please bear with me. I'm dealing with some things. And it's funny. Most people are actually really, really understanding, especially I think post-COVID, where a lot of people lost a lot of people. People seem to be a little, more compassionate than I expected with just checking the time because I don't want to run into Cricket's time. Just more compassionate when they see someone who is sad and grieving, if that person's able to express it. I don't think they would really notice unless the grieving person said something. But yeah. Let's see what's going on. Let's take a look right here. And I'm trying to remember some of the other things that I was thinking about this morning. Basically, we have to, there's a lot of information on how to work through the grief process, but the hardest part about it is that we do have to, on a level, work through it on our own, because it's something that's going on inside our mind and our spirit. And we can have people help guide us through it and talk us through it, but we have to do the work. And it is work if you want to grow. My mother, when my father died, slipped into maladaptive grief, and it's been 50 years, and she has never been able to move on. And that's sad. And I kind of, at the beginning, saw myself kind of slipping towards that, where I was just stuck in anger. And I realized that I don't want to end up like my mom did, in terms of the grief, because that just seems like a really horrible, horrible place to be. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but I'm not going to be able to do that, especially since Cricket should be going live any second now. But what I'm loving is seeing you guys comment about your experiences and support each other, because that's what we're doing, right? Right, Mary? This is about community and connection, and I love that. Oh gosh, the loss of a service dog. Complicated grief. Yeah. And I think I was headed towards that. I just happened to find the right therapist at the right time. And because, like I said, I was stuck in anger. And the anger is still there, but I don't feel like it is as intense as it used to be. I'm not wanting to throw an urn across the house when I get mad at her about something that she is not even here to answer for anymore. But one of the biggest things, I guess, was to acknowledge the grief, or acknowledge the anger. And I had to let myself know it was okay to be angry, and I had the right to be angry because of what happened when she left. She just kind of left us in shambles, and we're still trying to figure out how to pick up pieces. And I am nowhere near ready or healed yet. And I do believe that's going to be a lifelong process, just because being human is a lifelong process. We're supposed to continue to learn and grow as we move through life. And dealing with death and loss and grief is that's unfortunately going to be a part of it as long as we're in this world. And so I just remembered I did learn how to do a thing. No, I don't know how to do it here. Is it this? No. Papa Smurf, I'm so sorry about your friend. Was that a faith-based decision that was made to withhold a blood transfusion? I'm so sorry about that. And that is especially hard, especially when, if you understand science and how things work, and you understand faith and how faith is supposed to work. Those sort of things anger me. Pray for a miracle. You can pray for a miracle, but sometimes the miracle is finding the right doctor with the right touch and the right methods to help heal. And that's just, I'm so sorry about that. Let me see. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything else. Oh, yeah. No, Papa Smurf. That's something you would carry for a long time. Because, like I said, that's somebody that you cared about and you loved. Thank you, Mon. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons while you're here if you have not already. And then, does anybody know, is Cricket live yet? Okay, she's not yet. All right. I missed last night with her, and I commented on her Facebook and was like, okay, so I clicked the link and it's a, what do you call it? Thumbnail of you with multicolored hair. But when the video starts, it's you with blonde hair. And I'm like, did you really do that? You colored your hair on a live stream? She is a riot, and I love, let me put Cricket's channel in for you. I just pulled out the, what did I do? Mon, do you have it, or let me see. I think it is. It's another thing. See, the funny thing is that's the kind of, if you catch me in the right mood, there we go. Thank you, Mary. Catch me in the right mood, and I can actually do things like that. Like I was, back in the day, especially during COVID, it was nothing for me to just say, I think I'm going to shave my head today. And then I would just do it. Hi, Nicole. I'm glad you're here. I'm the warm-up act before Cricket goes live. We're giving her, I guess she needs a few minutes. Thank you very much, Papa Smurf. And you know what? Both Mary and I are glad you're here. Mary does some wonderful, wonderful lives for the Lifeboat. And I encourage you to check those out if you haven't. And can we put Mary's link in too? So here's where I'm glad I have mods now, because if I were to try to do that, it would probably take me 15 minutes at this point, because I'm tired and my brain is still fried. You already did. Thank you, Mary. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot more to say. Oh, she's live. it's time for the hair color reveal. So let's head over there and raid. Thank you guys so much for coming and joining me here, even just for a few minutes. And I will see you over at Chow Yun Smut. Let's go. Thank you, Janet.